This video is about using if inside a function. So let's see how we can do some stuff with it. First thing I'm going to do is we're still in lesson 2 because we are still using if statements. We're still talking about if statements, right? So for this demonstration, I'm going to use the most simple program, okay? And that is categorization of percentage, if I can spell it correctly. How do we do that? Okay, so the categorization is basically distinction, first division, and satisfactory for simplicity. So distinction is when your grades or your marks or your percentage is greater than or equal to 80. That's a distinction. First division is when your percentage is greater than or equal to 70, but percentage is less than 80. Okay, it's satisfactory otherwise. So let's code a program for this. So it's very simple. I am going to do a simple void main. So I'm just going to simply use a function over here. The function is going to return to me a string, and that will categorize percentage. Okay, and that is integer, takes an integer percentage. Now here the percentage will be from 0 to 100. Okay, so how do I categorize? So it's pretty easy to categorize. I can just do percentage is greater than equal to 80, then you return distinction. Else if the percentage is greater than equal to 70 and the percentage is less than 80, then you are going to return first division. Otherwise you are going to return satisfactory. Now there's one more thing that I can add to this function, and that is I am only supposed to do this if my percentage is greater than or equal to 0 and my percentage is less than or equal to 100. Otherwise I'll be printing satisfactory in other cases, right? So this is my function. Now there's an error. It says that I'm supposed to return something. So for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to return null if none of these satisfy. Okay, so now this is the function that we are trying to factor or refactor. So just for demonstration purposes, let me show you that this program works correctly. First thing is I'm going to try with 2. Now I get distinction. Great, I can try it with 70 and I should get what, first division. I get that. So this program works correctly. Now let's try to refactor this. Okay, so first thing I can do is this condition over here. It's not immediately obvious why I am doing this. So what I should probably do is create a variable for it with a proper name, by the way. So I'm going to do that. So this condition is basically if percentage within range. Okay. So the condition is percentage is within range. So I can create a variable for that. The variable is of type boolean. Look at this. I didn't really need to have that variable in there, but I still created it. Why? Because the only purpose of this variable is to tell the user, it's actually to scream to the user that this condition is for checking whether your percentage is within the range or not. Okay, next I can do something interesting now. Since we're talking about if statements, here is the thing that you need to take out of this video, and that is I'm going to use the if this way. If not percentage within the range, I am going to return null. So I am going to do the opposite cases first, which is if something goes wrong, then I am returning null. Okay, what benefit might we get from this? And the benefit is that whenever we read code, we do it from top to bottom, left to right. So just by having this if statement over here, I am allowing the reader to exit quickly from this function. Now, I'm not saying anything about execution. I'm just talking about reading the code. So when someone reads this code, then he will see that the percentage should be within range. If the percentage is not within range, then we are returning null. Oh, now the reader can figure out that that's what the question mark in the string is for, because we're returning null if the percentage is not within the range. Okay, does that make sense? Now, if I do that, I no longer need this if statement and that return null statement. Okay, this program will still work fine. What else can we do? So whenever you are inside a function and you are using if else, you are never gonna require an if else or if an else if. Okay, because you can simply do this. You can remove that else and have that if. You can remove this else and everything will still work as it should. Okay, and that sounds good. What else can I do over here? So over here, when you have a if statement with a single return line, then you can write this in a single line. Okay, I don't need those curly braces over there. See that? This makes my code simple. Okay, and it also has the functionality that I can exit quickly. Not me, but whoever is going to read the code. Okay, so this is how you use if inside a function.